A very good evening to you and welcome to ATN Global News. To begin, let's take a look at the headlines. NJC suspends Justice Aguma over misconduct. Supreme Court dismisses suit against EFCC. Tinubu confers honor on late Lagbaja. Nigeria's inflation rises to 33.88%. Fire kills 10 persons in Spain. Rocks withdraws from Miss Universe. Goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali lost his father. And now to the rest of our stories. National Judicial Council has suspended Justice G.C. Aguma of the High Court of Rivers State and Justice A.O. Nwabunike of the Anambra State High Court from performing judicial functions. They were both suspended for the period of 1 year without pay and placed on watch list for 2 years thereafter. The decision was taken at the 107th meeting of the NJC chaired by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun, on 13th and 14th November 2024. A total of 5 serving judicial officers were sanctioned for various acts of misconduct. The council also recommended 2 heads of courts for compulsory retirement over falsification of age. The duo of the Chief Judge of Imo State, Honorable Justice T.E. Chukwuemeka Chikeka, and the Grand Kadi of Yobe State, Honorable Kadi Babagana Madi, were recommended for compulsory retirement for falsification of their ages. The council equally considered the report of its preliminary complaints assessment committee, which considered a total number of 30 petitions and paneled 6 committees for further investigation, while 22 were dismissed for lacking in merit. 2 were sub-judice. The council also empaneled a committee to investigate all complaints and petitions against Honorable Justice O.A. Ojo, Chief Judge, Osun State. Analysts has urged politicians in the country to desist from influencing the judiciary using gifts, positions, or money. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a legal practitioner, Higher King, blamed the executive arm of government and political gladiators for their external influence on the judiciary, thereby bringing about an increase in judicial incompetence.
Influencing them with other positions, money, promotions, and all that, you know, and also knowing that these politicians helped in their appointment. So, you know, that's the problem. That's actually the problem. Some of the judges giving these rulings, I can bet that it's not what they want to rule, but because of the political influence, you know, they have to do that because they are not independent. That's what I'm trying to say.
The human rights lawyer also advocated for absolute independence of the judiciary.
The judiciary is not independent. If the judiciary knows that it's independent, even under the military, the judiciary was more independent than than under the civilian. Because under the military, I still remember when the CJ, the military governor of Rivers State, invited the chief judge, and the chief judge said, no, let him come here.
Special Court of Appeal panel established to adjudicate political cases in Rivers State has reserved judgment in the consolidated appeals contesting the judgment of Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Scores of women from Obele and Iba communities in Emoha local government area of Rivers State on Friday protested to Rumuji Police Division and barricaded one side of Rumuji section of East West Road. The protest was led by Loveth Amadi, daughter of John Amadi, the OSPAC member who was allegedly killed by suspected cultists led by Cairo in Obele. The protesters carried placards with different inscriptions like "Arrest Cairo now," "Cairo killed Akpata," "Justice for Akpata," among others. In an interview with journalists, Loveth, the daughter of the killed OSPAC personnel, narrated how Cairo Oyibo, in company of other cultists, shot her father to death while they were peeling cassava, in the house in Obele on 4th of November 2024. Loveth Amadi called on the police to immediately swing into action and arrest Cairo Oyibo, whom she accused of killing her father in the presence. Also speaking, Monica Woke, who says she is the woman leader of Iba community, maintains that Naked has not, but through the Ministry of Education, has extended the 2024 flood break resumption date by 1 week. This extension is to allow flood water that took over most schools in the state to subsidize. Recall that the state government had earlier scheduled the schools to resume work from flood break on Monday, November 18th, but had to extend it to Monday, November 25th, 2024. In a circular on Friday, the Permanent Secretary of the State's Ministry of Education, Simon Peter Okene, said a new date had been fixed for the resumption of private secondary and primary schools. Also, the government wishes to empathize with all Bayelsians who have been affected in one way or the other by flood. Edo State Governor Monday Okwebolo has appointed Gani Audi as his chief of staff. A statement signed by the secretary to the state government, Musa Umar Ikulo, said Audu's appointment takes immediate effect. Ikulo said the new chief of staff would help Okwebolo in driving meaningful reforms in the state. Audu, born August 18, 1969, obtained an HND from Auchi Polytechnic in 1994, a PGD in Business Administration from Benson Idahosa University in 2011, and MSc in Intelligence and Global Security from Baze University, Abuja in 2024. He was an elected chairman of Esako Waste Local Government Council from 2004 to 2010. He was elected member of the Edo State House of Assembly, Esako Waste Constituency 1, from 2015 to 2023. Enugu State Police Command has announced the arrest of 2 suspects involved in the murder of Mr. Stephen Aniagu, the chairman of the Ogbete Main Market Traders Association. Recall that in reaction to the gruesome incident, Governor Peter Mba had given a 48-hour ultimatum to security agencies to produce the market's leaders, killers. In a press statement issued on Friday by DSP Daniel Ndukwe, Police Public Relations Officer, Enugu State Command, he said a significant breakthrough had been made in the case. Ndukwe said through diligent intelligence work and coordinated efforts between police detectives of the Anti-Robbery Section D9 of the state CID and operatives of the Anti-Kidnapping Tactical Squad of the command, the police arrested 2 male suspects involved in the crime on November 8th and 9th, 2024, respectively. He said the Commissioner of Police, CP Kanayo Uzuegu, has reaffirmed the commitment of the Enugu State Police Command to apprehend all individuals connected to these crimes. He assured the public that the police would continue in its efforts to dismantle criminal gangs, particularly those involved in violent crimes. Lagos Environmental Sanitation Corps, popularly known as KAI, demolished 138 shanties around the canal bank in Ajao Estate Canal. In a video shared by the State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, shared on X on Friday, the occupants of the now demolished shanties paid between 60,000 naira to 100,000 naira annual rent. In the same vein, on Wednesday, a total of 94 persons were arrested during a midnight operation on rail track squatters in the state. According to Wahab, the arrest followed complaints from citizens about illegal squatters, miscreants, and suspected criminal activities along rail track corridors. Wahab said a local fabricated shotgun, several wraps of illicit substances suspected to be Indian hemp, charms, and a jackknife were recovered from suspects. He said the suspects will be charged in court accordingly. Less than 24 hours to the governorship election in Ondo State, 3 gubernatorial candidates have withdrawn from the election. The 3 candidates also adopted Governor Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress as their choice. The candidates are of the Accord Party, the National Rescue Movement, and the African Democratic Congress. The endorsement came during a solidarity visit to the governor, where Dr. Ajubola Falaye, candidate of the Accord Party, speaking on behalf of the 3 parties, praised Governor Ayedatiwa's dedication to the progress of Ondo State and cited his achievements in office. The other 2 are the governorship candidates of the NRM, Honorable Jenyo Ataonoko, and the deputy governorship candidate of the ADC, Mr. Olaide Rashid Ibrahim. The governorship candidates of the ADC had earlier declared support for Governor Ayedatiwa. Dr. Falaye stated that the decision to back the governor for Saturday's election was based on observation of his long-standing commitment to public service, tracing back to his time as the deputy governor. He pointed to the governor's record on security, stating that the state has been experiencing relative peace under his watch, which reflects his commitment to safeguarding the lives of their people. The Accord candidates also noted the shared values of progressive politics and goals that NRM, ADC, and Accord find in alignment with the Ayedatiwa's administration. In his response, Governor Ayedatiwa expressed deep gratitude for the endorsement, calling it a quality decision made out of goodwill by the candidates and their parties. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged all political stakeholders and the electorate to uphold peace and fulfill their civic responsibilities without fear ahead of the upcoming governorship election in Ondo State. The election is slated to be held across all 18 local government areas of the state on Saturday, November 16, 2024. The president made the appeal in a State House release issued by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Friday. The statement noted that the president anticipates a democratic process in the state that would genuinely reflect the people's will and power to freely choose their leaders. President Tinubu reminds all political stakeholders, especially the candidates, that the people bestow the privilege to govern, and this right must be respected and not undermined. He emphasizes that it is in the best interest of all Nigerians to ensure a free and fair election and consolidate our over 25 years of democratic governance. 28-year-old man identified as Samuel Ani has been arrested by men of the Ogun State Police Command for allegedly defiling and impregnating a 14-year-old girl named With Health in Sagamu area of the state. Ani was caught having carnal knowledge with the victim at about 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Confirming his arrest on Friday, the police spokesperson in the state, Omolola Odutola, said the incident was reported to the command by the father of the child. She stated that the suspect, who was also suspected to have impregnated the minor, on interrogation confessed to the crime. Odutola disclosed that the child had been immediately taken to the hospital for medical examination. Oyo State's chapter of the All Progressives Congress has slammed Governor Seyi Makinde for alleged lack of transparency in the presentation of the state's proposed budget estimate of 678.86 billion naira. The governor on Wednesday presented a budget of 678.86 billion naira tagged Budget of Economic Stabilization to the State House of Assembly for consideration and approval. However, in a statement issued by the Oyo APC's Publicity Secretary Olawale Sadare in Ibadan, the state capital, the party lamented that the governor failed to involve relevant stakeholders. As it said, the governor's claim of involving the people of the state in the budget proposal is false. The state APC chapter equally wondered how the governor evaluated his score sheet to have claimed that the 515 billion naira budget for the state in 2024 had a 70% successful implementation. Oyo State government and its Ogun State counterpart have declared that they have tightened security around the two states to tackle insecurity. The Joint Security Commission for Oyo and Ogun State made this declaration at a meeting held along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Thursday. The commission said it has tightened security around the borders of the two states in a bid to tackle insecurity, especially during the Ember months. The Commission used the opportunity to reassure residents and motorists of adequate security and safety of lives and properties, especially around the border areas and highways of both states during and beyond the Yuletide. Fatai Owosheni, the special advisor to Governor Seyi Makinde on security, and his counterpart Olushola Subar, who is the special advisor to Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State on security, explained that the meeting was necessary to review and harmonize activities and also re-strategize to strengthen security measures put in place for residents and people coming from the diaspora to enjoy the Yuletide in peace. The duo, while speaking, implored residents of both states to be security conscious. They added that security is the obligation of all and sundry. The duo maintains that security agencies in both states have been up and doing. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says he is not afraid of joining the ruling All Progressives Congress if he wants to. Wike made the assertion statements while explaining reasons for not supporting the candidacy of the former People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, during the 2023 presidential election. He said equity and fairness were found wanting in the PDP, which was why he didn't support Atiku. According to him, he had no conversation with President Bola Tinubu before the polls on joining the ruling All Progressives Congress. Bauchi State Civil Service Commission has suspended 6 officers for alleged serious misconduct. The 6 suspended officers, all from the Ministry of Works and Transport and attached to the Bauchi State Infrastructures Development and Maintenance Agency, were accused of selling or converting government properties worth millions of naira. The properties were removed from ongoing flyover construction projects at Wunti and Central Markets within Bauchi Metropolis. The suspension was disclosed in a statement made on Friday by the Commission's Public Relations Officer, Saleh Umar. According to the statement, the alleged acts contravene Section 0327 of the Bauchi State Public Service Regulations, leading to the suspension of the officials under Section 0331 of the same regulations. The suspended officers are Mohammed Musa Shaye, Chief Store Officer, Ado Abba Pali, Senior Technical Officer, Danladi Noma, Senior Fireman, Garba Nuhu, Senior Works, Superintendent, Ibrahim Inua, Technical Assistant, Electrical, and Uzairu Moody, Technical Assistant, Electrical. The Commission stated that the suspension will allow for thorough investigation by relevant authorities in the reported misconduct. Commander of the 6th Brigade, Brigadier Kingsley Uwa, has pledged the Nigerian Army's unwavering commitment to maintaining peace and security in Taraba State and the entire country. Uwa made the pledge on Friday while playing host to chairman of the 16 local government areas in the state, who paid him a condolence visit over the demise of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja. He emphasized the brigade's commitment to its duties and assured that the troops would continue to carry out their responsibilities and resilience and professionalism. The commander reiterated the importance of fostering stability in the region and highlighted ongoing efforts of the brigade to uphold law and order. The reassurance comes as part of continued efforts to strengthen confidence in the military's role in safeguarding the state and its people. Speaking on behalf of the delegation, the Taraba State Chairman, Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, who also doubles as the chairman of Jalingo Local Government Council, Dr. Aminu Jauro Hassan, conveyed the collective grief and sympathy of the entire state over the passing of the army chief. Katsina State Police Command has confirmed the gas cylinders conveyed in a truck exploded at a filling station in Jivia local government area of the state, causing damage to about 6 vehicles. The command spokesman, ASP Abubakar Sadiq Aliyu, disclosed this in a statement issued in Katsina on Friday. Sadiq Aliyu said a loud explosion was heard by police operatives attached to Jivia Divisional Police Headquarters, and promptly the DPO led a team in collaboration with the military to the scene. The PPRO said that the State Police Commissioner, Mr. Aliyu Abubakar Musa, has directed a thorough investigation to determine the cause of the explosion. Sadiq Aliyu explained that further developments will be communicated as the investigation proceeds. Kano State Police Command has arrested 82 suspects in connection with various crimes committed in the state from November 1 to November 14th. The suspects include kidnappers, armed robbers, thugs, phone snatchers, and drug dealers. The State Police Public Relations Officer SP Abdullahi Kiyawa, while addressing newsmen at the command's headquarters, Bompai, Kano, said the arrests were a result of a crime-busting strategy adopted by the command. Speaking on behalf of the State Commissioner of Police, Salman Dogo, the PPRO said the achievements demonstrated the commitment of the command to maintain law and order. According to him, the command will continue to strengthen its multifaceted strategies that revolved around community policing, strategic communication, and sensitizing the public on security matters. Others were intelligence-led policing as well as targeted clearance operations that had effectively dismantled criminal networks operating especially along border local government areas of the state. Analysts has expressed concern over the increasing number of ghost workers flooding the nation's civil service sector. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout, a public affairs advocate, Manki Adubabari, attributed the increasing rate of ghost workers on the current economic hardship plaguing the country, which he said have compelled a lot of professionals in the civil service to leave their jobs in quest for greener pastures.
Of course, you see the Naira is going down the drain, becoming worthless. Then you think about how much a head worker can earn outside this space. Even in Africa. Then what's the need? And life is not even secured. So what are you talking about? Now, look at Zamfara. Talk about the issue of insecurity there. Then the head worker will come, and I can tell you for free, the investigation will confirm at the end of the day that most of these persons have moved abroad.
Elucidating further, he emphasized on the activeness of the rule of law and possible signs as the alarming number of ghost workers in the state civil service. You're watching the Global News in Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break. Do stay with us.
Aha! Is there a
bro, I tell you, this match 3-0.
Okay.
If I win you, something will come out.
Don't play with me. Fast ball, fast ball. Ah, you know what? You go something.
Bro.
Now we got this match.
Keep the banter going with Glow Borrow Me Credit or Data. Dial star 303 hash to borrow airtime or data and pay later.
Is it ready?
Go on, no one again. Only one thing I didn't.
Okay.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data. Glow Unlimited.
Welcome back. This is the Global News at Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Friday conferred the posthumous award of the Commander of the Federal Republic on the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. He made the declaration during the interment in honor of the late warrior at the National Cemetery in Mogadishu, Abuja. The president extolled the virtues of the late warrior, eulogizing his contributions to national security. According to Tinubu, the appointment of Lagbaja as the COAS was one of his finest made so far. The event had in attendance Vice President Kashima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Defense Minister, governors and top military officials. Last week, Tinubu announced Lagbaja's death, saying the late warrior passed away in Lagos after a period of illness. Born on February 28, 1968, Lagbaja served as the Chief of Army Staff for 1 year and 4 months. President Tinubu appointed him to the role in June 2023. He played pivotal roles in numerous internal security operations, including Operation Zaki in Benue State, Lafia Dole in Borno, Udoka in southeast Nigeria, and Operation Forest Santi across Kaduna and Niger states. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has extended warm congratulations to Ayodeji Ario Gbeleyi, Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprise, on his 60th birthday. In a statement by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu praised Gbeleyi's long-standing dedication and service to Nigeria, recognizing his pivotal role in enhancing and transforming public enterprises across the country. The president highlighted Gbeleyi's significant contributions in driving foreign direct investment and his track record of public service excellence. A chartered accountant and an esteemed member of both the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Gbeleyi has been widely recognized for his professional achievements. He holds an MBA from the University of Navarre's IESC Business School in Spain and has pursued advanced executive programs at renowned institutions such as the London Business School, Harvard Kennedy School, Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, and Lagos Business School. President Tinubu commended Gbeleyi for his leadership at the BPE, noting that his experience and commitment have been instrumental in shaping policies that drive Nigeria's economic diversification. Late Chief of Army Staff, Chief Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has been laid to rest in Abuja amid tears and tributes, ending an illustrious military career that spanned decades. The interment took place at the National Cemetery in the nation's capital, marking an end to 2 days of funeral rites that began in Lagos earlier in the week. His body was lowered to Mother Earth at exactly 4:41 p.m. after the ceremony that lasted for over 2 hours. Lagbaja's casket, draped in Nigeria's green and white colors, arrived at the cemetery around 3 p.m. in a white funeral wagon after a funeral service at the National Christian Center in Abuja. Before the late COS interment, there was a service of songs the previous day at the Army Headquarters Garrison Parade Ground, Mogadishu Cantonment, Abuja. The Nigeria Air Force aeroplane carrying Lagbaja's body arrived at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja around 12:15 p.m. on Thursday. Supreme Court on Friday declined to declare the operations of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and 2 other anti-corruption agencies that were created by the federal government illegal. In a unanimous decision, a 7-man panel of the Apex Court, led by Uwani Abba Aji, dismissed the suit that 19 states filed to query the legal validity of the process that led to the establishment of the Anti-Graft Agency in 2002. According to the court, the EFCC Establishment Act did not require any form of ratification by the Houses of Assembly of the 36 states of the Federation, since it was not a treaty but a convention. It will be recalled that the EFCC was established by an act of the National Assembly on December 12, 2002 by the then administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Following the appointment and confirmation of its pioneer executive chairman, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, and other administrative officers by the Senate, the Commission commenced its operational activities on April 13, 2003. Though its Establishment Act was later amended in 2004. However, in a suit before the Apex Courts, the states, through their respective attorneys general, argued that Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, was not complied with before the EFCC began its operations. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation Joseph Usef revealed on Friday that the federal government will unveil the Clean Nigerian Campaign Strategic Plan next Tuesday, aiming to accelerate progress towards the nationwide 2030 open defecation-free target. Speaking at a press briefing in Abuja ahead of the strategic plan's launch and the commemoration of the 2024 World Toilets Day, themed Toilets, a Place for Peace, Youssef noted that only 135 local government areas in the country had attained ODF status. He explained that the federal government, through the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, had implemented several initiatives to bridge gaps in basic sanitation services and actualize Sustainable Development Goal 6 of water and sanitation in Nigeria. Some of the initiatives include the development of a national action plan to revitalize the sector, partnership for expanded water sanitation and hygiene program, sustainable urban and rural water supply, sanitation and hygiene program, and the Clean Nigeria, Use the Toilet campaign supported by the Presidential Executive Order 009 on ODF Nigeria by 2025, and among others. He said the theme for the 2024 World Toilets Day highlights toilets as a place of peace, protection, and progress, essential for public and environmental health. World Toilets Day is celebrated annually on November 19th to inspire action to tackle the global sanitation crisis and help achieve SDG 6, which promises sanitation for all by 2030. In his opening remarks, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Richard Filangwa, said the government is committed to ensuring Nigerians have access to dignified sanitation facilities. ECOWAS Court has dismissed an application filed by a Nigerian Chukwuemeka Ede seeking 5 million naira in damages for alleged unlawful detention and torture by the defunct Police Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The petitioner had approached the court with an application praying for the enforcement of his rights and a default judgment against Nigeria following the government's failure to defend the case. Delivering judgment, however, the 3-member panel of the courts, presided over by Justice Ricardo Conclaves, read by Justice Edward Asante, with Justice Dukwe Atoki as a member, dismissed the applicant's claim of default judgment. Justice Asante held that after examining the applicant's submissions and evidence, the court found that his claims were not substantiated by sufficient evidence to warrant a default judgment. According to him, this was notwithstanding the fact that the court had jurisdiction over the matter and that the application was admissible, having complied with relevant requirements in the protocol of the court. Recall that Ede from Enugu State had filed a suit against the Federal Republic of Nigeria alleging unlawful detention and torture by SARS operatives, stating that the SARS personnel subjected him to acts of physical abuse, including spraying tear gas into his eyes, beatings, and forced confession. Federal Road Safety Course has dismissed viral reports circulating on social media about an ongoing recruitment exercise, labeling them as false and misleading. In an official statement issued by the course public education officer, Assistant Course Marshal Olusegun Ogungbemide, the FRSC clarified that it's not currently recruiting and has no immediate plans to commence any recruitment process. The course marshal, Shehu Muhammad, urged members of the public and job seekers to disregard the fraudulent publications, emphasizing that all legitimate recruitment activities by the FRSC are conducted transparently and are widely publicized through official channels. Mohammed also cautioned the public against engaging with scammers posing as FRSC representatives, warning that the course will not be held responsible for any losses incurred by victims of such fraud. The FRSC reiterated its commitment to maintaining credibility and transparency in its recruitment processes and advised citizens to report any suspicious activities or communications to the appropriate authorities. Federal government has arrested a total of 300 illegal miners across the country in a move to revitalize Nigeria's mining sector. This was revealed during a strategic briefing of the House Committee on Solid Minerals oversight visits to the minister. Ministry of Solid Minerals Development Dr. Dele Alake at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. The visit saw the unveiling of a series of transformative strides aimed at revitalizing Nigeria's mining sector by Alake. With a clear focus on the comprehensive 7-point agenda, the minister emphasized the progress made in securing Nigeria's mining operations, deterring illegal activities, and positioning the sector as a cornerstone of economic growth. Dr. Alake expressed gratitude for the ongoing support from Nigeria's legislative authorities and other key partners, emphasizing that these combined efforts are building a resilient foundation for the sector. The minister expressed optimism that with these reforms setting the stage for substantial economic contributions, Nigeria's mining sector is on a trajectory to significantly bolster the nation's gross domestic product. Nigerian High Commission in Nairobi has been accused of imposing excessive and unauthorized fees on Nigerians living in Kenya seeking passport renewal services. Reverend Barrister Moses Fega, a Nigerian missionary working in Kenya, spoke with reporters revealing what he described as a new method of exploitation targeting Nigerians in the East African nation. According to Fega, the Higher Commission has introduced a $42 charge for passport renewal services, which is not part of the official fees listed by the Nigerian government. Fega explained that the fee is comprised of two components, a $30 cash on delivery charge and an additional $12 transaction fee. He raised concerns over the transparency and legitimacy of these additional costs, particularly pointing out that the $30 COD fee is not for courier services, as one might assume, but rather a questionable surcharge. The COD, according to Fega, is a payment method where the recipient pays at the time of delivery, which he claims has been implemented in a way that burdens Nigerians who are already facing economic challenges. He also pointed out that the fee had previously been paid in cash or via mobile payment service M-Pesa, but has now been integrated into the electronic payment system with an increased rate rising from $20 to $30. However, at the time of publication, no further response had been received. Nigeria's in Diaspora Commission has announced the repatriation of 13 trafficked Nigerian girls from Ghana. According to a statement signed by NIDCOM's spokesperson, Abdulrahman Balogun, on Friday, the latest rescue brings the total number of trafficked victims brought back home since July 2024 to 163. The operation was carried out through a collaborative effort involving the Ghanaian Anti-Human Trafficking Police, Rescue Life Foundation International, and NIDO Ghana with the support of NIDCOM. The rescued girls, aged between 19 and 30 years, were reportedly lured to Ghana under the pretense of employment opportunities, but were instead trapped in exploitative conditions. Chairman CEO of NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri Erewa, expressed her appreciation for the coordinated efforts that made the operation possible. NIDCOM representative who accompanied the victims back to Nigeria, Akimboya Akinsola, noted that the girls surrendered voluntarily after hearing of prior rescue missions in Kone, Katamanso, and Tema, Ghana. The Chairman, Board of Trustees, Rescue Life Foundation International, NIDO Ghana, Callistus Eloziuwa, explains that the organization provided temporary shelter for the victims before facilitating the safe return. And now we move on to business news. Food and petrol price hikes have pushed Nigeria's inflation to 33.88% in October 2024 from 32.70% recorded in the previous month. National Bureau of Statistics disclosed these on Friday in its Consumer Price Index and inflation reports for October 2024. This comes as food inflation rose to 39.16% in October 2024 from 37.77% in September 2024. The Central Bank of Nigeria's Inflation Expectation Survey, released on Tuesday, predicted Nigeria's inflation to rise. Energy costs rise in the period under review, with petrol pump price rising above 1,030 naira per litre in October from 617 naira in August 2024. And now we move on to international tidbits. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has promised a strong military as he repeated his pledge to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Trump, who campaigned on an America-first foreign policy, has said previously that he wanted to strike a deal between Kyiv and Moscow without giving details and had bloodshed in the Middle East. He also criticized the big chunk of U.S. spending on Afghanistan from where American troops withdrew in 2021 after 2 decades of fighting an insurgency by the Taliban, which returned to power that year. Trump's re-election has the potential to upend the almost 3-year conflict between Russia and Ukraine, throwing into question Washington's multi-billion-dollar support for Kyiv, which is crucial to its defense. The Republican said on the campaign trail that he could end the fighting within hours and has indicated he would talk directly with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Overnight fire in a retirement home in the town of Villafranca de Ebro in northeastern Spain killed at least 10 people, the local emergency service said on Friday. The emergency services in the region of Aragon did not provide further details in its post on X. But Spanish media said there were 82 people inside the home when the blaze broke out at around 5 a.m. due to unknown causes. South Korean court handed the country's opposition leader a suspended prison sentence Friday for violating election laws, a ruling that may prevent him from running in the next presidential election. The Seoul Central District Court found Lee Jae-myung, the leader of the main opposition Democratic Party, guilty and handed him a suspended 1-year jail term, a court spokesperson told newsmen. The case concerns statements Lee made on the campaign trail when he narrowly lost to incumbent President Yoon Suk-yeol in 2022. Prosecutors have asked for a 2-year prison sentence, saying Lee made a false statement in a TV interview in December 2021 that made people think he did not know Kim Moon-ki, a key figure in a controversial development project. The court ruled that the facts Lee made false statements on TV greatly amplified their impact and reach, it said in the written verdict. If it is upheld on appeal, Lee will be stripped of his parliamentary seat and prohibited from running for public office for the next 5 years, which would include the 2027 presidential election. Lee is seen as a leading contender in South Korea's upcoming presidential election, due for early 2027. But the 60-year-old faces a slew of legal cases. His other trials relate to corruption involving the Seongnam Development Project, an illegal $8 million cash transfer to North Korea, and pressuring a former mayoral secretary to provide false court testimony in his favor. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un has ordered the mass production of attack drones. The state media reports that the development comes amid concerns over the country's deepening military cooperation with Russia. Pyongyang first unveiled its attack drones in August. However, experts said the capability may be attributable to the country's budding alliance with Russia. Kim on Thursday oversaw a test of drones designed to hit both land and sea targets. He underscored the need to build a serial production system as early as possible and go into full-scale mass production. The unmanned drones are designed to carry explosives and be deliberately crushed into enemy targets, effectively acting as guided missiles. And now we bring you entertainment news. Popular Nigerian gospel actor and producer Moses Korede Are, also known as Baba Gbenro of Abertoy, is dead. Actor Oluwaseun Adejumobi announced Baba Gbenro's death on his Instagram page. Sharing his picture, Adejumbi wrote, "Heaven's gain again. General has gone to rest." Baba Gbenro is one of the main actors in the popular Mount Zion series, Abertoy. He was the founder and international president of Calvary Movies Drama Ministry and also the chief executive officer of Calvary Movies Television. Miala Rooks, who was recently crowned Miss South Africa 2024, has announced her withdrawal from the Miss Universe competition because of health issues. In a statement released on Friday by the Miss South Africa organization, Leroux expressed gratitude for the support she has received from South Africans, describing the decision to step back as incredible, challenging, but necessary to focus on her health. The Miss South Africa organization also expressed its support, emphasizing Leroux's resilience and prioritizing her health. Italy Mora, the Miss Universe contestants representing Panama, has been disqualified some few hours to the competition's grand finale. The finale of the global contest will take place in Mexico on Saturday, 16th November 2024, while the official reason for her dismissal has not been disclosed. The New York Post reports that she was expelled following an unauthorized visit to her boyfriend, Juan Abadea's hotel room in Mexico. Denying the rumors, Italy Mora stated that she was expelled after she had heated exchange with the director of Miss Universe Panama, Cesar Anel Rodriguez, over the event's poor organization. She claimed that her boyfriend was present during the argument. According to her, the exchange escalated when her boyfriend revealed that he had covered her expenses, including a $7,000 Carolina Herrera dress, due to the organization's neglect. Mora was expelled after pageant staff found her with a boyfriend, leading to allegations of an unauthorized visit to his hotel room. Rapper Meek Mill has distanced himself from embattled colleague Shin Diddy. A fan had bumped into Meek Mill in public and asked him for a shout-out in a viral video on Instagram. These followed a series of Diddy's legal cases, indictments, and sexual assaults lawsuits. Meek in the video made it clear that he's no longer associating with Diddy by saying the "No Diddy" catchphrase. Facing the camera, the 37-year-old said, "You already know how we are playing out. This is real life." Over the years, Mill and Diddy have had several records together and even stunted on M in matching outfits at parties. He has been the main celebrity brand of Diddy jokes since February 2024 after the Love of the Greed album. Producer Rodney Jones' explosive lawsuits suggested that the duo were boyfriends. Here now is ATN Sports News. With just a few matches remaining in the qualifiers, Nigeria, Egypt, and 13 other teams have secured their spots for the 2025 African Cup of Nations, which will take place in Morocco. The Super Eagles of Nigeria secured their qualification with Libya's 1-0 victory over Rwanda in Kigali. Later, Nigeria were held to a 1-1 draw by Benin, with Victor Osimhen's late goal earning Nigeria a share of the spoils and sparing them from defeat. Alongside Nigeria, 5 other teams, Tunisia, South Africa, Uganda, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon, secured their spots on Thursday during match day 5. Defending champions Cote d'Ivoire also secured qualification and hopes to win the title again. Father of Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali is dead. Nwabali made the announcement in a post on his Instagram story on Friday. The cheaper United star, however, did not disclose the cause of his father's death. He mourned his father, sharing a post accompanied by a tearful emoji. He also posted a message, "Rest in peace, Dad." This is coming after Nwabali led the Super Eagles of Nigeria to a 1-1 draw against Benin Republic at the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier on Thursday night in Abidjan. Nwabali could miss Nigeria's next AFCON qualifier with Rwanda in Uyo in a bid to mourn his father. Rivers United head coach Finidi George has declared